let's make this crusty, amazing bread. We're gonna need a kitchen scale and a bowl. So I'm gonna put my bowl on here. Zero out your scale. Okay. So we want 300 grams of warm water, first of all. Put that in here. Almost there. There we go. Okay. Zero out our scale. 9 grams of dry active yeast. I like this recipe. You can also zero out my scale before I forget. You can do it by cups and by teaspoons, but I don't trust it. This recipe I find works much better if you do it this way, if you do it by weighing it. So sugar to your bowl, you want 4 grams of sugar. Oh no. One moment, please. Okay, that wasn't working because I got water on my scale. So let's try this again. There we go. 9 grams. Now let's give this a whisk. And then make sure I get all my yeast in there. And I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like before and after so you get a good idea of what you're looking for. This is what it looks like immediately after adding everything and whisking it. After 5 minutes, this is what it looks like, and you can see it's really bloomed. I have my bowl back on my scale. I have zeroed out my scale. I did not forget to do that. Next, we're going to do salt, another 9 grams. There we go. Zero this bad boy out. Oh. Let's try this. It's because the bottom of my bowl is wet. The scale does not like that. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to add 400 grams of flour. Once I'm done with this, we're going to give it a mix. And this is going to be a bit shaggy and a bit sticky. Then, I'll go 400. Once that's all mixed, you're going to cover it and you're going to leave it for about an hour and a half. I like to do 1 set of stretch and folds. You'll find that this is very similar to a sourdough, except it doesn't take 3 days. Honestly, I love sourdough. I do not like how long it takes. And I'm telling you, this bread, the pickiest child in my house told me that this is the best thing that I've ever made. So sweet. So I appreciate that. This doesn't take much. Really, you don't need to knead this. I'm just making sure that I have all of my flour incorporated, honestly. You don't need to transfer this to another bowl. You do not need to add any oil to your bowl. You can see it's all over my finger. So it's sticky and it's shaggy. So it's coming apart. Okay, this is what I want it to look like. I'm going to put this into my oven with the light on, and I'm going to do one set of stretch and folds after half an hour. After half an hour, it has significantly risen, but it's not ready yet. Let's do our stretch and folds. I'm going to wet my hands, grab it and fold it over. You're literally just doing quarter turns, one more, and then we are done. All right, back in the oven for another half an hour. I'll show you what we do. Okay, it's been an hour and our dough is looking pretty good. I have put some flour on my countertop here, and we're just gonna dump this on top of that as soon as it decides that it wants to. Come on. You can do it. Oh boy, quite a bit stick, but that's okay. It came out pretty easy. Again, this is so much like a sourdough. You're just going to stretch this out. There's even bubbles in the dough like there would be a sourdough. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold like an envelope. Again, if you've ever watched sourdough recipes, this is basically done the exact same way, except it doesn't take you 3 days. You can do it in, oh, I don't know, 3 hours, give or take, something like that. And then we're just gonna do it the exact same way, just pull, maybe give it a little turn every time. I'm just trying to shape our dough so it looks pretty. Okay. I am putting this into a banneton, and I'm just gonna let it sit in that while I preheat the oven to 460. I forgot to mention, while you're warming up the oven, put your Dutch oven in there with the lid on and let it warm up as well. Our oven has reached 460 and our Dutch oven is nice and hot from being in there. I use one of these silicone things instead of parchment paper to put my bread into here on, and I've also sprinkled a little bit of cornmeal just so that the bottom of my bread doesn't blacken at all. And for this, we're actually going to flip it over like this so that the seam is pointing up. That's going to give it a lot of character when it's time for it to come out of the oven. It's going to have some splits on the top. It's going to look real unique into our Dutch oven. And this is literally all you need to do. You don't need to put any ice or spray it down. Put that lid back on into the oven for 30 minutes. Then you're going to take the lid off and cook it for another 10. Bread to look out of the oven. Now let's slice into this bad boy. One of the best things I ever bought. The bread saw. Isn't that nice?